So Lattafa have been very busy pumping out new fragrances, especially with their vintage line, but these two fragrances are just their regular Lattafa line, not their Pride line. Today we're going to be looking at Lattafa's Al Nashama and Al Nashama Caprice. We're going to be looking at these two fragrances today, looking at their projection and also to see, is it worth the money to pick these up, especially because they're brand new. Don't go anywhere, stay tuned, and let's jump in. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'm Eli with Common Sense, and I hope you're having an amazing week so far. So we're going to be looking at these two fragrances, Al Nashama and Al Nashama Caprice. So let's take a look at Caprice first. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about these fragrance boxes. They look a little bit more like shopping bags and almost like a purse. It's a very interesting design choice. You've got the slightly textured feel on the outside, and you also have an embossed gold of the Al Nashama logo in the middle. Like I've said many times, it wouldn't be a Lattafa fragrance without the holographic logo on the side. Let's open this up. Whoa, what on earth? So this presentation is a little bit strange. It's definitely pretty sturdy in there, and as you take it out, you have this very, very interesting bottle style. What is going on with this cap? This is one of the ugliest caps I have ever seen. I am not a fan. It almost looks like a shower gel, so it's actually taller than the fragrance bottle itself. Yeah, if you take a look, it's actually taller than the fragrance bottle itself. That is... I don't like that. I honestly might just leave the fragrances sitting out like this without the cap, because I think that looks much better. It almost looks like the Spirit of Dubai fragrances. I think this is a much cleaner look. Yeah, this is a very plasticky, kind of gaudy look. I don't like that. Oh boy, but the fragrance inside is so much better than the presentation. The presentation does not do this justice. Lattafa Al Nashama Caprice has top notes of bergamot, lemon, and ginger with cardamom, and middle notes of geranium, mint, and lavender with a base of amber, patchouli, vetiver, and cedarwood. Holy crap, does this smell good. So I actually don't own the original La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique. I have a decant on its way, but I do have the original La Nuit de l'Homme, and I think this stuff smells incredibly sexy, and this is basically an upgraded version of that in all the best ways. So maybe that compliment should have been directed towards the original Bleu Electrique. We'll find out. And I do plan on doing a head-to-head battle between this one, the Jack of Clubs, and also the original YSL Bleu Electrique. So stay tuned for that one. This has such an amazing, sweet, and warm quality to it. So you have a lot of that ginger and cardamom, especially up top. It just smells very warm, slightly boozy in it, and extremely comforting. It's basically everything that the original La Nuit de l'Homme was. It's that very dark, comforting kind of sweetness, but it also has a little bit of that vetiver and a little bit of geranium and lavender. So it's going to be a little bit more energetic. It's going to be a little bit more aromatic and slightly more citrusy. I am getting a little bit more cinnamon, and I feel like the cardamom is definitely ramped up a little bit. So the patchouli is still very strong, but it smells extremely, extremely high quality. This actually has been one of my most worn fragrances all week. I've been spraying myself, and it does last quite a bit, especially in the first few hours. It's very strong. My God, the lavender and the geranium do smell very nice here. It's a little bit more aromatic, and I gotta say it smells way, way better than the original La Nuit de l'Homme. As you get more towards the dry down, it definitely becomes a little bit more amber heavy, and the amber does come off very aromatic, and it smells a little bit airy. I do appreciate the nice kind of creamy woods in the base, and I think the cedar wood definitely helps with the vetiver, and it smells very masculine and very mass appealing. You still have that beautiful gourmand and warmth from the cardamom and the ginger, and I think it just smells like an extremely pleasing, masculine, just baked cookie, like a baked good. Oh God, that smells amazing. In terms of performance, you can expect to get about 3 to 4 hours where it's really strong, and then it lasts about 8 to 9 hours. So I think I said 9 to 10 in my initial review. On my skin, it's about 8 to 9, and you can expect to get a little more because my skin is a little bit drier. So while the longevity isn't as amazing as some of the other Lattafa fragrances, it's similar definitely to a designer fragrance, probably the original. It's going to last a lot longer if you let it sit and if you let it macerate. So if you let it sit in your closet or somewhere just where it's away from all the light, and you just let it sit and rest and age for maybe a couple weeks, I guarantee that the performance and the composition overall is going to get even better. I don't even know how it can smell even better, because this is just amazing. This is just wild. And for about $35 to $40, Al Nashama Caprice is definitely a win. So you can definitely blind buy this one, no questions asked, and I think you will love this. And that one is Lattafa's Al Nashama Caprice. Next up, we're checking out Lattafa's Al Nashama, just the regular one. I probably should have started with the regular, not the Caprice. Oh well. This one also has that really cool swirl on the top. It almost looks like a caramel latte. So while the other one was very masculine, this is going to be a slightly more feminine twist to Initio's Paragon. I actually just filmed a video where this went back to back with Vintage Radio and also the original Initio Paragon. So stay tuned for that one and you'll be able to see which one is best. So this one also has that very strange shower gel bottle looking cap, and yeah, I'm just gonna toss that one again. Tell me this does not look like the Spirit of Dubai fragrance bottles. That's really cool. So let's see how this one smells in the air. Pretty nice atomizer. Oh, this stuff is incredible. You've got a blast of bergamot, pink pepper, and clary sage in the top, with middle notes of black pepper, jasmine, and plum, with base notes of patchouli, moss, leather, and amber. So I definitely smell the plum, but the jasmine and the leather here definitely make it smell like a little bit more of a feminine twist to Initio's Paragon. There's something in this that reminds me a little bit of Terry Mugler's Angel, so it's probably the patchouli and the leather, so you got a little bit of that just nice badass women's fragrance notes mixed with a beautiful tropical floral. I think the clary sage and the jasmine and the plum together create a little bit of a green mango accord, so it smells a little bit like a tropical mango mixed in with that Initio Paragon. As this dries down, you definitely get more of that amber and the leather, so it definitely comes off a little bit darker, but it still has that beautiful floral and sweet tropical quality to it. That actually smells quite nice. There's also quite a bit of a difference from the original because of the oak moss and the patchouli and the leather, so it smells a little bit more intense, and I feel like there's also some incense in here, so it smells slightly more Middle Eastern, but again, a little bit of a tropical twist to it. And I think there is a little bit more of a green kind of effervescence to it. A little bit fizzy, bright, and I feel like this is going to be amazing for the springtime. So the original Initio Paragon does have oud in there, but it's very, very subtle. It's not an oud heavy fragrance, and I feel like this one, it's not very oud heavy, but it is slightly there just in the background, and I think it's worth mentioning that. In terms of longevity, you can get about the same, about 9 to 10 hours, and like the other one, if you let it sit and macerate, it's going to last a lot longer, and I feel like the composition is going to switch up just a little bit. At least right now, it smells incredible, and on skin, it smells really radiant, and it smells like a wonderful summer skin scent. I also feel like I get a little bit of a mint from this one, so it's a little bit like a mentholated vibe, kind of like some people said of the original Paragon. Not fake and medicinal, but just a little bit minty, so almost like a minty tropical gum. That's kind of what I get from this. While some of the notes can come off a little bit feminine, it's still very unisex. Beautiful stuff. And that one is Lattafa Al Nashama, the OG. I gotta say, I am quite blown away by these two fragrances, and I cannot wait until they macerate and get even longer lasting. Lattafa Al Nashama Caprice is a wonderful alternative to Yves Saint Laurent's La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique, and I cannot wait to have it go head to head against the original and the Jack of Clubs. And the regular Al Nashama is a wonderful spring approach to Initio's Paragon. Wow, these are amazing. Price-wise, I definitely scoop these up if these were $30 to $40. I wouldn't really pay maybe $60 or $70, especially because you can get Vintage Radio. I think it's very similar, but again, stay tuned for that video. So that does it for today's video. Let me know in the comments if you've tried these fragrances or if you have any other fragrance clones that are better than these ones, as they are trying to copy the original or deviate from it. I don't like to say copy because sometimes they're blatant copies, like some of the the Maison Alhambras, but these ones are more twists. So let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Eli with Common Sense, and until the next time, bye-bye. I'm so glad I have coffee here. Pro tip, if you are filming multiple fragrance reviews in the same day, just keep a little bit of coffee grounds with you, because that'll be a wonderful way to reset your nose and not get that olfactive fatigue.